Hello, all. I think everybody have seen that Claude Code has been leaked through NPM packages. Yeah, I think the information kind of videos will be in the shorts of our channel, and the long form detailed video will be in the long form content. Now we'll see the Claude Code has been leaked. Now with the leaked code, what we can do is we can find how it works, how exactly Claude Code works. That's what going we are going to see today. People started creating vibe coding of websites for it. I have already identified two websites. In that, we'll see one website in it. Then we'll discuss like how it works. It has multiple parts, but we'll start with how it works alone. This is the website name, cc_unpacked.dev. I will also add it in the description. So cc unpacked means Claude Code unpacked video. So 1900 plus files, 5k, I mean 51k lines of code, 53 tools, 95 commands. In that we will be only seeing about how it works in the agentic loop. That's what we are going to see. Other than that, we have architecture explorer, we have tools, what each tool is doing, and what are the commands available. I think what are all the comments available? We are about to make a video. I think, let me see, can I make it as a Wednesday video or a Friday video? Let me see that. But what are the hidden features? What it has? All those things is been the analysis date is around March 31st. Okay, so let's see. This is the developer who has created this website. So let's see how it works. Let me slightly zoom in. Actually, totally 11 steps are there. In that 11 steps, let's start with the first one. So first one is giving input to the Claude Code, like find all to do commands in the src and create a summary out of it, is what the question, I guess. So this is the user input given to the Claude Code. Now what happens is the Claude Code user input would be transformed into like a messaging structure what you can pass to the Anthropic. This is the second immediate step what it performs. I think if you have developed a GenAI application or something like that, right? I guess you would have wrapped every user input to the text column, and this will be this. You will identify the type of content. Sometimes, if you have history or system prompt, also you will wrap it inside this create user message function. So immediately the user input will be transformed to the message input. I mean, create user inputs functions like type of, I mean, supportable content. Okay. Now the third step is where we are adding the history to it. The first question of the user would be like set of my project structure, and this is the assistance output also. Now the user says like now add the database models. So these are all input output of the user for each and every time. Those all will be now added at the step 3. Okay, now at the step 3 itself, this new content, right, like this new user message, uh, create user message function, that in that way we are adding the history of the user previous input, the user input as well as the assistant output. All these will be added with the latest question. So after the step 3, we are going to add the system prompt. What are all the system prompt? Claude.md file, tools, then plus memory, then context. So if you see Claude.md file, if you haven't watched what does Claude.md file does or what Claude Code does, please watch my previous video. I have given a very detailed explanation about what is Claude.md, when should be used, what should be used inside it. So what happens is we add the Claude.md system prompt. See, first we have the user message, then we have the history of the user, then now we are adding the system prompt Claude.md tools. Like what are the tools in the sense like read, write, all those tools we have, we'll see in a separate video. Like read file, web search is a tool, read file, write file, all those things, explore directory, everything is a tools. Then memory comes into picture, then only context comes into picture. So context is what we were user question plus history. Memory is something that the project related memory which is stored in the dot cloud of the root folder of the dot cloud. So if you open your root folder in your laptop, then see dot cloud, inside that projects will be there. Inside project, the project name, if you click, there will be memories. So that memory will be added. Then the context, what we saw this time, message and history, all those will be added as a system prompt. then everything will be passed from your machine to Cloud API. Then Cloud API starts streaming. So this is the server sent events, SSE events. So immediately with all the information packed together, your machine sends this to Cloud API, and Cloud API says, okay, I will search for to do in SRC. So this is a streaming output. What we get, that's what we see in the Cloud Code. Like it is typing kind of feel you get, right? That's called streaming, which is coming from the Cloud API. This is step 5. So step 5 is the first time where your internal information goes outside of your laptop. Okay. Now let's see what is step 6. Step 6 is the raw token. What you see, like I will search for to-dos. This is what streamed in the API, right? That will be rendered immediately in your Claude Code screen. So if you see the Claude Code screen, it draws a box, and it has bold text, smaller text, everything it has, right? How it does all those things? It does through the Markdown rendering. This is how the Markdown rendering in the step 6 only, the Markdown rendering happens, and in the terminal TUI it looks, it gives a feel good way, right? How that happens is because of the Markdown rendering happens in the step 6. And step 7 is, if tool use block found, if there is a tool use block found, then find tool by name, then it will find the name of the tool, then can use the tool, then it will check for the permission, immediately checks for the permission. See, if you have gone through the previous video, okay, what I will do is I will add the description, I mean previous videos link also in the description itself. Okay, so highly recommended to watch that video. It's a 30 minutes video, really helpful. Watch that video and come back. So in that video itself we have mentioned that the settings.json file is primarily important for giving the permission, allow and deny commands or any type of action which can be done through Claude Code can be allowed or denied. So that settings.json, immediately what happens is, if there is a tool use block in its rendering, okay, then the first thing what it should do is, it should find the name of the tool. What we found, it's a bash command. Then immediately next what it does is, can use the tool or not. That is checked from the settings.json. It says check permission is allowed or pre-approved pattern or not. So it will check, is it pre-approved pattern or not. Then it will ask you in the screen, should I allow for none once, or allow for this project, or um, for you itself, or for this session only. All those things is asked. The last one will be decline, don't approve. So all those things happens at the step 7. Okay, now step 8 comes to the loop section. So all this happens, like it collects all the information, like what to say, message, user message history, and system prompts like claw.md, memory, context, everything will be, and tools, everything will be bind together and then passed to the API of the Claude. Then API generates a token, and that token will check, is there a tool call is there or not. Then it finds the tool, and with the tool it will check with the pre-approved list, or else it will ask the user for approving mechanism. This happens again and again in the loop until it does its job. This is really amazing. 11 steps, very effective steps. So loop back to the API till iteration 2. So this will be keep on looping until it completes its task completely. Okay, all these are supported through context window. Context window keep on loading with all the information, what it does, what have it not done, everything is loaded in the context window. Then this loop gets continued. Now the final response rendering, after it has done its job, then only step 9 comes, the final response rendering. If you asked it to write it in a markdown, it will write it in a markdown. Or if you have just asked, then it will tell in the terminal UI itself or VS Code extension itself, it will show the result as rendering output. It will be rendered as a markdown, and it will be shown to the user. So now comes the post sampling hooks. So auto compact. Now if we see, to find this particular information, if you have 200k context window model, if it have used 180k plus context window, it's already, then now it needs to compact itself to 50 or 20k. It should reduce its its memory window to, so that if user ask a new question, right, it should not say, sorry, my context window is over, now I cannot answer. It should not say that, right? So it should be ready to answer. So if a 200k model has reaching more than 180k of context window, then I think it should auto compact in the sense, it will summarize the previous conversation. So this is a hook. This will happen automatically after the conversation. It will, after the conversation, it will check what is the context window limit, then it will impact. Okay, then memory. If you give in a large code base, the code base will be growing, you will be doing something, something in the sense like you will be giving some inputs to change all those things. There should be one common place to track all this, right? That's called memory. So this memory loads everything, everything in the sense like what happened in the project, what is happening, what should be happened in the future, step by step process. If you say give me a phase by phase plan for like for multiple weeks, then it will give phase by phase plan, everything will be stored in the memory so that it will have the context. There is also a dream mode where it is not currently enabled in Claude Code. I think it will be coming in the future releases. But dream mode, if you enable it, if you're not even in the project, the Claude Code automatically does something in the background. So it automatically organizes memory. It automatically organizes its thoughts. What can be improved, what cannot be improved. Everything will be happening in the background is what people are telling. But dream mode is not been enabled as of now. Maybe while you're seeing this video, it can if they have made a release, it can be enabled, but I don't think, most probably it would be enabled. So the last and final step, 11th, is await. After doing everything, again the Claude Code comes into picture. I mean, like you will see the input bar for you to give the input. So this is the 11th step which is happening in the Claude Code uh, again and again. I hope so this helps you to understand how Claude Code works. See you all in another video. Thank you.